Hello guys, so welcome back to another session of learning Unity with me. Today I can spend an hour learning Unity because I've basically done what I need to do in terms of schoolwork. So this gave me enough time to hopefully do an hour of learning for Unity. And where we last left off, I think we were trying to attempt to add some interesting physics to the ball so that when it reaches the side, that was a bad example, but like, let's see if we can hit the side. Dang it. So let me see if I can hit. Basically, because at some instances in our game, the ball will just be going sideways, and that can get boring because then you're just waiting for the ball to come back down, so until you can react again. And the way he's gonna do it, from what I saw yesterday, is that he's gonna always make it bounce at a trajectory. So even if it goes right here, like in a straight line, it's gonna either go at this angle or that angle. So it doesn't. So it prevents the ball from going sideways and getting stuck in that pattern. So yeah, let's get right to it. Restricted mode, what? Before we continue, I am gonna edit this because I think I mentioned like hard coding is kind of bad. I think I'll put it up here actually. So we'll call it private string const string. It would be tag breakable equals breakable string tag unbreakable equals unbreakable. Yeah. And then paddle, I guess. Tag paddle. So these are just tag variables to prevent hard coding. Because yeah, my professors always tell me not to hard code, so this is, I guess, the only way I can apply what I learned in class. So that way, if we do want to change the tag, all we need to, we can access it easily at the top, and they're all grouped together. So then we can just, change it, and then it'll automatically change the code within here. So it just helps with like organizing, I guess. Like, oh, we know like all the tags are up here, so let's change this and change that. Because let's say we want to update the tag of a object, because let's say instead of a paddle we want it to be something else, called something else. We can just change it here instead of having to look for it in our code. I mean, we can do Control F, but this one's a lot easier, I think, to do. Alright, so let's continue. Alright. So let's vector 2 x y. So I think that he's giving another mini challenge, and I think what he wants he wants us to generate a value of x and y between 0 and this random value. So what we can do is, have I think these two are integers, right? Let me just double check. Vector 2d, vector 2, unity. Let's look at the parameters. Components. Yeah, it looks like it's an integer, right? X component of the vector, y component. So what we can do, we can say int x, because I don't think we have an x or y. We do. Oh, it's a float. Never mind. Let's do float. Float x equals. Yeah, I forgot how to do random. Random C#. Random class. New random. And then next bytes. No, I think we want next float. Rand dot next. So I think we use var here just so we can inherit whatever type this is. Let's look at the actual class, I guess. Oh wait, does it have the methods? Avoiding multiple instantiations. Let's say the where's the methods or properties I can check out? Oh, here it is. So we have a constructor. Next returns a random integer that is less than the specified. So it's less than, so extend exclusive, I guess, within a specified range. I think this is what we want, but we have to create a random object first. So let's go ahead and do that at the top. So random, or in our case it'd be random object equals new random, and then we're just gonna random object dot next between 0 and float or random factor, and then same thing for y, random object dot next 0 dot random. I'm thinking this is what he wants, and I keep forgetting the semicolon. I think so. I'm getting kind of used to Python, so that's probably why. Oh, okay, I've done it like that. Is that also part of the class, I wonder? Random dot range. Huh, it's not. Huh. Is that part of a different class? Oh, it's part of Unity. Wow. Wow. Oh, it's just a random dot range, huh? Well, yeah, I think that's a lot better. Instead of creating an object, we're referring to static methods, I think. So yeah, I think that would be a lot better. 0f to run vector. Alright, he was getting an error probably because we need to import it. Says I think I'm leaving it like this. But I do see the reason why he would, because if you have a smaller screen, it's if you have a smaller screen, this would be very useful. But I guess for now, since I'm not really sharing this code, I'm gonna leave it like this, considering I think my screen is big enough to be able to see all of it. Like this though, that's kind of overkill. So maybe if for this one I'd go like this, and then kind of like that. I don't know if that looks better or not. I think so. I think that looks good actually. So that we can at least see the comment. So the reason he's getting error because there's two types of random, and I kind of experienced that just a moment ago where I didn't realize that Unity engine has their own random class, and I was referring, like when I was looking for it, I was referring to the actual documents from Windows or Microsoft, sorry. So yeah, then we get some compiler issues. Just semicolon. And 8, 9. Oh, right here. But yeah, so they say to just, he said to just comment these out, and then it will solve that problem with figuring out which namespace to use the random class. I guess we don't really use these, which is why he's able to do that. I feel like there's probably another way, like we can say like unity engine dot random dot range, but you know, for the time being, I guess I'll leave it like that. But if I do get an error, I'll at least try to remember that it could have been because of, you know, commenting out the system namespace. Let me just double check if that was the case. Oh no, he deleted it. Oh, never mind. I'm just gonna comment them out, just for my own learning purpose. So oh, sorry, I was like getting confused with this, but yeah, what he wanted us to do next, he wanted us to basically update the current velocity of the rigid body. So we do m rigid body dot velocity plus equals velocity tweak. So that updates the rigid body to the velocity by adding a tweak to it to prevent sideway bouncing. Updates the rigid body to the velocity by adding a tweak to it to prevent sideway not bouncing, maybe motion. Sideway motion might be a better word to describe that. Fixes the issue of the y value of the collider going down. Oh, I think I know what that meant, and I don't think I worded that properly. Fixes the issue where the y value of the collider fixes it where the y value of the collider keeps decreasing. And yeah, I guess that'd be good for now. Alright, so we can actually test the game now. Alright, cool. Let's go try it out actually before we see how his looks like. We get any error? Oh, that's nothing. Alright, let's try it out. So the added code is to prevent sideways motion, and it makes it so that wherever it hits, the velocity will be added to the ball in the x and y axis with a random factor of 0.2. So it's gonna add a 0.2 to the x axis or the y axis. Let's go try it. Oh yeah, it actually does. It actually does feel better. Oh, that feels way better. I don't know. I mean, it's not really showing because we place a small value, but from what wow, did it just slide off the paddle? Probably had to fix that somehow. But yeah, like after testing it so many times, I can kind of tell the difference of how the ball moves, and I think it's a lot better now. But yeah, I'm losing a lot. I still, I guess, need to adjust to the ball. Yeah, see, like it's actually doing more angles now. But let's just to show like an exaggeration of the ball's motion. So let's try increasing that value to 1. Random factor. So I expect the ball to just be bouncing like crazy. Oh, actually, what? There it is. See, it's not like staying sideways. It's actually trying to go up a bit. That actually is a perfect example, or it's going down a bit. Wait, why would it be going down? It should be going up. Yeah, that feels way better. Alright, cool. Oh, wait. Yeah, 0.2 is pretty good. Because yeah, I think when you're adding like a huge value, it does start to affect the whole like value, as opposed to just adding a smaller one, or it wouldn't affect as much. Alright, next video. So he's saying that you know, in part of game design, like, you know, you really want your game to stand out, right? As part of the design, you know, you got to make it different. And he says while adding features is one of the I guess more popular ways of doing so, um, sometimes even just tuning your game so that it has certain properties can differentiate it from other similar games. And yeah, so right now we're focusing on trying to tune our game instead of adding more features to it, which is actually pretty interesting. I never thought about it that way. So yeah, I'm thinking that maybe, like, let's say if it's the last for my game, to tune it, maybe we can, like, if it's the last block, it'll like slow down and then like zoom into that block getting destroyed. But you know, that's kind of difficult though, considering, you know, first you have to make sure that the ball is within a certain proximity, I guess. So yeah, I don't know how to do that. I'm guessing, like, since we are keeping a count, let's say if we can make it so that, like, if it's the last block on the screen, like the last breakable block, we can probably like locate that block through code, and then increase the proximity of like the collision, or have a separate another collision where instead of it being an actual collider, it'd be a trigger event. So when the ball like makes contact within that area, then that would be the time when we zoom in to the block and the ball, just to create that little suspense. But if it misses, you know, it's not gonna break it, but it will try to zoom just to create that suspense. And and yeah, and if it does break, it'll, like, I guess, zoom like really close to it and then move on to the next level. So I got this idea, you know, funny enough, right? I want it to be different, but I actually got this idea from Peggle. Because I remember playing it when I was younger, and yeah, I think at the end it showed that. I want to play just a little clip of it. Hopefully, I'll get. Let me see if I can fast forward it. I think it was from Peggle. Does it show it? Slow-mo. Yeah, something like that. I wanted to create something like this. See, it gets close to the proximity. So let's say I would have like some sort of, if it's the last last block, we'll have like we'll locate the block first, and then we'll add like another collider, I guess, but this time make it a trigger event. So if it gets close to it, the camera will zoom in towards the ball, and then if it's outside, then it zooms out again. I'll see if I can try to do that, because that is pretty cool if I can make it like that. We'll see. Because like right now he's able to change the camera. I feel like I don't want to mess it up, but I think we're almost done with this project here. So we have extreme tuning, tune playtest, autoplay for playtesting, and then we're almost close to the end. Wow, actually. So this is basically it. We're just gonna fine tune it, and then yeah, I guess we're done with that. And we also have these other games to do, and then we'll be pretty much done. So this one looks like it's gonna take a while. Glitch garden, huh? That's kind of interesting. interesting name. But yeah, all right. I think that's what I'm gonna try to do before moving on to like the next lectures. So you're just mentioning like some of the properties that we could change to make the level, different and more interesting. So he's like really looking at the properties, because I think his like the main idea is to not add any features but just like tune the components so that it feels different. That'd be pretty interesting. But I did notice something. Maybe we can make it so like not all the blocks have give out the same score, because like you created two different types of breakable blocks where one requires 3 hits and the other one requires 2 hits. So maybe we can figure out a way to kind of differentiate the scores given when either when a specific block gets destroyed. And yeah, I think game speed is also a good feature to tune for the game. I think yeah, I guess for this to work, you gotta make sure we have to count how many balls are there, and then if let's say we lose all the balls, then it would be game over. But if it's like right now the way it is, it doesn't seem that like it is gonna be difficult, and it is interesting, but I feel like it'd be way too difficult to the point where I don't think I would even bother trying, especially how fast it's going too. Imagine creating like a block breaker RPG or something like that. I wonder if like let's say it's like a continuous motion, like kind of like those shoot 'em ups, but you're playing with the you're playing with a block breaker, right? You're just bouncing the ball in the screen, but like the screen is going upwards. So and then there'll be like enemies, and then we could like try to hit the enemies, kind of like in, but the enemies will place kind of like in like Space Invaders, where they're like organized in a certain pattern, and they just stay there for a while, and then they try to, I guess, shoot you, I guess. But the shooting part might make it too difficult, but yeah, that'd be pretty cool to do. Alright, yeah. Alright, so I guess since he's only doing this because I think we're done with the project, so now he's giving us I guess the power really to make this game our own. Because so far we've just been following the tutorial, not really diverging from what he's doing, and now he's just telling us like, alright, like this is to learn actually, like start thinking in a certain way, like to whenever you're going to create a game or design a game, it's good to keep these things in mind, and just like try to do your own thing, I guess. And I think yeah, it's a pretty good message right there. Alright, so now let's try to think about some ideas, because I think he doesn't want us to add features, and I think the camera thing and the slow motion, I think that is kind of adding a feature. Well, is it? I mean, we are adding a separate collider and adding more code to it, but I don't know. I will create another level just so I can test out the feature. I might actually, you know what? Let's try it. Let's see if we can do that. Let's see if we can replicate the Peggle slow motion thing. How do I do it again? We go to assets, and then go to scenes, and then we duplicate this. Game status. You need to go to the scene loader. Yeah. Alright, so we're gonna, first of all, we're gonna delete that. We're just gonna create like a demonstration, I guess. Oops. So we're just gonna, how did he do it? How did he is it Control Alt? No. I'm gonna figure it out. How to highlight multiple objects. Unity. Picking and selecting. Yeah, because he was doing it. So yeah, I'm gonna try to see if I can do it like this, kind of like that. The proximity, and then but the ball hasn't really made contact with it, and I want it to kind of slowly zoom in. But then if it misses, then it just zooms back out until it can get close to it again. See, like yeah, so it activates when a certain proximity is met, and I assume they probably follow that same logic where like if it's the last one, then make sure to add this proximity and then check, or unless maybe they all have the proximity and then it only turns true, or like it's only activated when it's the last one. But again, that does seem kind of complicated, but I guess that's part of learning. I wouldn't mind trying it. I just want to create like a certain level. For now I'm just gonna make it easy for myself. I'm just gonna drag this, delete the camera, delete that, the play space, background. We can edit that to make it a little bit more green or red, kind of like the final level, or like yellow maybe. Alright, so then we're gonna add some, let's go design block. Before we design a level, I'm gonna just test out the idea that I have. So I'm just gonna add a block. So we go to prefab. It's gonna have a 2-hit block, I guess. Oh, you have to use control. Alright. How do we go about and do this? Alright, let me think about it. So this one, the game status has the game speed, so we can control the game speed with the game status. The camera, we can zoom in. I don't know how you can do that. How do you use, is it the scale? Maybe zeta? Probably doesn't do anything. I know, maybe we can update the position to the block, to the ball I meant. And then if it, I'll try. If I can't do it, then I think I'm just gonna move on, because it might be way too difficult for my skill level. Alright. Let's see. Alright, so I'm gonna think about it a bit. So we're going to make contact with the block. So we also have to make sure that the hit count is low. So I think maybe game status, since actually not game. Wait, is the game canvas? No. Is it the level? Yeah, breakable blocks. When you hit play, it loads to 1, I believe. Oh man. Wait, how did it hit the... I'm never gonna bother with that. I don't know how. And it just went through the paddle. Yeah, for one moment, just. Oh my gosh. Alright, that was weird. A little bit. Oh, now it's stuck. Alright, let's increase the value then of the ball. Over here. The factor will be 0.5. Oh, we need to go to build settings. We're gonna add open scene. Then should be good. What? Dang it. Alright. Let's see here. I think it's best if we just start on it and then maybe get some ideas along the way. Alright. So let's probably do some notes, I guess. So we have the ball class, ball level, game camera. Set the objective. Over here we have the update the position of the camera to the ball. So yeah, I guess so. These are the only things that are being affected. So let's go to ball. So let's look at our collision. Actually, wait. Let's go to the level script. And then I guess during the update, it's always going to be looking for that. And this might not be efficient, and I don't really mind it. If can we create rigid ball? I don't think we have access to it. Huh. Actually, we can find it. Probably. Considering we can do define object of type, and the only block script that will be available will be that single one. Wait, not rigid body. A new collider 2D block as a is trigger net. So we like block object equals find object of type block. I think that's how you do it. Yeah, right here. So we find that last block, and then we're gonna add a have a class troop which contains information related to a specific troop. I have a troop prefab which is the base of my troops, so that be true. Now, summon the troops I can have, for example, effect buff, summon, so on. All of those effects. At one time, when essentially you can like to touch a quick effect. What should that type? Is it not possible to declare a variable type? Assuming you're using a non-generic version. I wonder is it even possible to make oh wait, we need to drag that. Can we add like another box collider? Oh, we can add another one. Add a box collider. Maybe runtime. Oh. So I guess we can do it like this. Game object dot add component. But I have heard add component is deprecated. So Unity has informed me that before I cannot use it. My goal of the question is to find out how to add my own custom script to it. Past in a method I want to exactly how to do this. But this is not what you can convert a string. How exactly works here? I'm just gonna try it because I don't want to get into too much detail. So we're gonna get object, call it block object, block object dot add component box collider 2D. I want to see if that compiles. That even compiles. We'll just say block contain definition. Oh, my bad. Wait. Maybe block object game object add component. Does that solve it? Block does not contain definition of game object. Oh, never mind. Yeah, it looks like I already passed it. If I can't figure it out tomorrow, which I'll probably spend the next 30 minutes, the next 30-minute session tomorrow on it. If I can't solve it or figure it out, if I don't make any progress, right, then I'm just gonna let it be, and I'm just gonna continue on with the lecture, and then I'll just probably work on another project maybe after this, the Udemy course is ended, and yeah. So I'm gonna catch you guys later. Peace.